welcome to the show. You have a very illustrious background. You've done a lot of things, ranging from being a restaurateur to a television director and producer and writer, to being an amazing musician and multi-instrumentalist. The list goes on and on and on over decades. So tell us, if you would, where it all started for you.
Prior to 40 years ago?
Yes.
Because I just realized on the way over here that the television thing started a couple years after I graduated college. So, it's 40-year anniversary already.
Okay.
So that's where I cut my teeth in television in Detroit.
Right.
Which I fondly refer to as Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've lived there, you can say that. I think you went through that with Nate Brown's interview.
Yes.
So that's where TV started. But I grew up in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
A good place to be from.
Yeah.
A good place to call home.
Uh-huh.
And at the time when I was in college, everybody wanted me to be a dentist. There were some dentists in the family.
Mm-hmm.
And so I tried that, and then I didn't really care for I think organic chemistry was what changed my mind to change from the medical field. So
that's a little too heavy, huh?
it was a little too heavy, and then I explored optometry because it was a 2-year postgraduate program, and then it changed to 4 years. So I'm like, you know what? I just want to be a rock and roll star and a songwriter, an entertainer. I guess kind of came. I was always a hot dog when I was a kid.
Okay, you like the spotlight, huh?
A little bit. Captain of the football team, all that kind of stuff. Always the band leader or always the guy organizing, I guess.
Somebody's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it. So it came naturally to me, and through music and stuff, and really started playing a lot in college with a couple cats from Pittsburgh that were brothers, and they knew every Beatles song imaginable, and they had that sibling harmony going. So when everybody was like doing disco and funk and stuff, we were kind of like doing southern rock and what became classic rock. Okay. And a lot of original stuff. Okay. And we cut some records and stuff, and won Battle of the Bands and stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun. And like I said, then that kind of transitioned into television, which is a whole story.
Sure. Well, we like to touch on this sort of a little bit of everything, but from a musical perspective. Yeah. Tell us about your DNA and your roots of that, and how that seed was planted.
That seed was planted early because my mom was always listening to, my parents were always listening to Sinatra and Nat King Cole. I remember exactly where I was. I remember the image like it was yesterday when Nat King Cole died. Oh. I remember exactly where I was sitting, exactly where my mom was. And we used to... I was fortunate to grow up in a middle-class family, so we had the country club thing going on. My dad was a really hard-working guy. My mom was a hard-working homemaker and stuff. And I saw, I think, probably the Monkees. The Monkees probably inspired me a little bit, and then subconsciously, Dick Van Dyke. Okay. I wanted a job where I could lay on a couch, write jokes, tell jokes, play piano, and throw darts.
Wow.
But music started in 2nd grade with guitar. Okay. You can't tell by the way I play today that I've been playing that long, but...
you do all right, my friend.
Thank you, Dante. Piano in 4th grade. And piano just became, there was this woman that she was probably 50 years old, but just seemed like, the stereotypical grandma teaching piano, right? And I wanted to play this B3, with the foot pedals and the whole deal, the Leslie cabinet and stuff. And I wanted to play pop tunes. I wanted to play 96 Tears. I wanted to play Red Rubber Ball, stuff like that. And she said, nope, not until you play this old rickety upright in the basement and play, Mary Had a Little Lamb and stuff like that. And then, kickball, softball kind of got in the way. And I don't like reading staff. So that was kind of like a deterrent. And then I was sitting closer than you are right now, away from a red sparkle drum set of a high school rendition of Gypsy Rose Lee. And just that whole stripper beat, that got me instantly. Gotcha. And I turned to my cousin and I said, I want to play drums. And I started talking to the guy, and I arranged taking lessons from him, and
Okay.
told my cousin, I said, I don't care if my parents are going to pay for it. I'll pay for it myself. Right? He went and told his aunt, but my aunt told my mom, but lo and behold, I think I was paying the guy maybe $2,
Mm-hmm.
if that, $2 an hour. And he just showed me the fundamentals, and my dad got me my first kit, which I still have the snare drum.
What was it?
And the first kit was a Rogers.
Oh yeah.
So I kept the snare, and it's that classic black oyster pearl finish.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a set of Gretsch, and it was like a white Buddy Rich kind of finish, even though he played Ludwig. It was that finish. And just fell in love with drums, man, in sixth grade.
Bingo.
You can relate to that.
Absolutely.
You know, that scene
Absolutely.
in Get On Up, I think, the James Brown movie,
Mm-hmm.
when he's like really just rehearsing the heck out of his band. He says, "What's that in your instrument, son?" Or "What's that in your hand, son?"
Everything's
Guy
a
had
drum.
a trumpet. He says, "That's a trumpet, Mr. Brown." I said, "No, that's a drum.
It's a
son."
drum.
You know, so it's as you know, bass and drums, right? I mean, counting is everything.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I mean that's advice for the youngsters. I think it's and piano, of course, because it's melodic, it's percussive,
Mm-hmm.
it's bass,
Mm-hmm.
it's chords, it's melody. You know. So the drum bug just kind of like stuck with me, and then I stuck with that all through. I still kind of messed around with guitar, started playing guitar
Mm-hmm.
a little more, and then keyboards didn't really come back into play until probably in that band that I was with the guys when I was 18, 19 years old.
Okay.
I was playing drums in a country band,
Uh-huh.
so I cut my chops. First real, outside of like parties in high school and stuff, and playing the graduation parties, and once I was in high school, I think we started playing the canteens, the college canteens, or whatever they were called, the frat parties.
Right.
And then, like I said, cut my teeth on country music, playing drums every weekend,
Mm-hmm.
making the same amount of money that I'm making today.
And is this in Pittsburgh?
This was in Pittsburgh.
Okay,
This is all
okay,
in Pittsburgh.
okay.
So yeah, Detroit didn't happen until 1980. I graduated college and went to L.A. Again, wanted to be a rock and roll star, songwriter,
Mm-hmm.
and was working as a roadie for SIR, Studio Instrument Rock.
Okay. By the way, academically, so you graduated college in '80. What field would that have been? Was that in music or?
Okay. Yeah. So I gave up the whole optometry
Mhm.
thing.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Which was interesting because it's a visual
Mhm.
thing, right? And I ended up in television. But that happened through talking to the counselors and stuff, and go, okay, well, business always made sense, right? My dad was a good businessman and stuff.
Mhm.
So, and I ended up being able to do what they called a self-designed major. So I was able to take all the mandatory courses that you were able to take, and all the sciences that went towards that, and basically created what they call a self-designed major,
Mhm.
majoring in music.
Sure.
And communications in the music business, I think, was the official title, communications in the entertainment industry
Okay.
kind of thing. So it all worked out.
Okay. What school was that?
University of Pittsburgh.
Nice. Blessings to you in your career.
Likewise.